Hi Capricorn, welcome back to my channel. So first things first of all, you've been working really hard. I can see that here. You've been working hard towards something, and you need to keep going. Just keep going, no matter how difficult it gets, or if you feel like giving up. Actually, that's the time to actually rev things up for yourself. But first things first, I already said the first thing. All right. There's a loss that you took, but it wasn't a real loss. Okay? And I know whatever it was, whether it was a friendship, a job, whatever it is in your life, or even yourself, that process that you went through or you're going through right now of analyzing and releasing the situation and getting things that you need out of it, and then getting the lesson you need out of it, and then tossing the rest away, basically giving yourself closure. That entire process for you is actually putting you in the path that you're meant for. Now, there is a lot of good luck on your side at this time. So your spirit guides are actually heavily pushing you towards destiny. Is a little too vague. Your purpose. I don't know why I was hesitant to say that, but that's what it is. It is your purpose. Now, I see here that you sowed seeds that you for sure thought would, manifest for you or create the life that you wanted, and yada, yada, yada. What I'm seeing here is that you're still getting there. You're still getting to where you're meant to be. With the Hierophant, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Knight of Pentacles reverse, don't be scared by slowing down. If your body calls for it, if your mind calls for it, if any part of you calls for you slowing down, do not be afraid of that, because you need it. You've been putting like your foot on the gas, for real. And I'm seeing here that there is a need of rest. Now, going back to the Nine of Swords reverse, when you pick this apart, you really gotta do your best to untangle it so that it doesn't become distorted in your mind. Whatever this loss is, however this loss is affecting you, right? Because if it's especially a person that you disengaged with, or wow, I hope this isn't the case, but let's say you lost somebody who was close to you that you were on the outs with. Spirit is saying it's extremely important for you to not dive too deep and don't get too entangled in your mind, because that's also going to affect the healing process of whatever this loss is. I don't know if you can tell, but it's a little difficult for me to connect with your read. So I'm going to take that as an indication that your spirit guides want to be closer to you, And there's something that you could be doing that you're not doing right now to do that. Whether it's prayer, speaking to your spirit guides, conjuring your spirit guides, all of that stuff. There's something that you could be doing that you're not doing, spiritually speaking, that your guides want you to pay attention to. Yeah. So Wheel of Fortune actually came out for you twice. I used 2 different decks and the Wheel of Fortune came out in both. So that's heavy on you're on the right path. And that's heavy on don't think that just because your journey isn't peaches and cream, don't think that because you have been through so much, and I'm so sorry that you've had to go through this much, emotionally speaking. But it is literally part of your, why am I hearing road? Okay. Your journey to abundance, to what fulfills you. Now, this seems a bit extreme, like it was a big fight or it was a sudden loss of a job, like very sudden. Words could have been spoken. Negative energy was definitely sent out. I'm seeing here that there's a lesson for you to learn about control. And there are a lot of things that you are in control of, but from your spread, I'm getting a sense that like you're losing a grip on what you sought out for your life to be or what your life was. There's just been like a very extreme change. And this lesson is a lesson for you to deal with control. Because of course, we're in control of ourselves and our actions. But your spirit guides want you to know that they have a lot more control in your life than you think. And it's not in a way where it's like bad, where they're like wagging their finger at you. What it's coming across as is they want you to strengthen your connection with them. They want you to use them, not in a way that's like transactional, but like they want you to acknowledge them as like a daily part of your life. When you have problems, they want you to speak. You know, everybody believes in different things. So if you're monolithic, God wants to hear you, you know. Of course, God is always hearing your heart, your thoughts, and God sees all, but he wants to hear you. You're meant to be used. Spiritually speaking, you're meant to be used. So it's time for you to infuse your spirituality more into your life. And I'm assuming if you're watching this video that you are spiritual to some degree, right? But there's a call to rev it up. Like, let's go to the next level. All right. Enough about that. You've been well taken care of behind the scenes, and I'm seeing that there are institutions, companies, some sort of structure or facility. I don't know if it's the government. I don't know if you're going to win in court. There's something that is typically like black and white. And I do feel like on the surface, it looks like things aren't in your favor, but they are. So I don't know if this has to do with like a job, a court case. I don't know if this has to do with like a loan, like a bank. But there's something like structurally speaking, like in terms of, I'll call it the matrix, where maybe you don't have, I don't know, all the evidence that you think you need to have. Let's say maybe you don't have the credit to move out of wherever you are, or let's say someone's taking you to court and it seems like you don't have a case, but that's not true. Or like even at work where it's like, okay, you need a degree to have this position, but somehow, some way, there's an exception for you. And the way I'm getting it is that it's not that anybody's breaking the rules. I feel like there's a loophole here. Something's gonna work out for you that on the surface shouldn't. That's basically what I'm trying to get at. I get the odds being in your favor when at first glance it shouldn't. Okay. Okay. This is semi-channeled. Because I see the Emperor here in the cards, but the message I have, I don't really see in the cards. The Emperor and the Seven of Swords. Okay. So wherever you work, right? If you are employed right now, wherever you work, your boss, manager, supervisor, whoever it is, whoever is in charge, is masking as though they care about you more than they actually do. And here's what I mean by that. Of course, when we're talking about work, like people from work aren't going to care about us like our family does, right? But there is a sense of, camaraderie sometimes with certain people. Like you think that they give a damn because that's how they behave. I'm seeing that from a boss where it's like, it's not that they don't like you, but I think what they're doing, what this boss is doing is treating you nicely because they're getting so much more out of you than you need to give. I don't know if you're somebody who makes your boss look better. I don't know if you're somebody that your boss can give tasks to that they're supposed to complete, knowing and they know and they trust that you're somebody who will do it. You'll never say no. You'll always do it on time and you'll do like the best job. There's something here about your boss leaning on you a lot more than you realize. If you realize that your boss does lean on you a lot and they ask a lot out of you, trust me, you don't even understand how much you're actually holding your boss up right now. Okay. Something's gonna get a little fiery at work or somewhere. I don't know why I'm thinking about emails, but I'm seeing emails or memos, something written that's like professionally spicy, you know? There's certain patterns that you're repeating. And you're repeating them because you're not learning the full lesson. Now, that's not to say that you're not learning at all. What I'm getting is that you're learning in chunks. So you're repeating certain patterns, coming out of each cycle a little wiser. And what I'm getting here is that, yeah, this whatever cycle that you've been repeating, whether it has to do with your home, whether it has to do with your education, work, there's a certain pattern that there's a certain cycle that you've been repeating for a very long time now, and this is the last time. This is the last time you're repeating the cycle. Because I do see a lot of pain. I do see you very drained emotionally, but still going hard in the paint at work or in school or something. But all of this is because you've already shifted into your next chapter. You've already shifted into your next chapter internally. It just hasn't materialized yet in your reality. Yeah, you're not the same person that you were last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago. You're not the same. And you've been changing ever so slightly and ever so slowly that I don't think people really even noticed. Shit, I don't think you noticed how much. I'm sure you've noticed you've changed, but I don't think you realize how much you've changed. And it's only a matter of time, because you know, so within, so without, it's only a matter of time that you're actually gonna see it in your existence. Isn't something bursting? This is weird. Might be a confirmation for somebody. But something might have burst in your backpack or your purse. Like a bag of chips or snacks or something. That's a confirmation for somebody. I know it is. Yeah, let go of what is causing you inner turmoil. Now is the time for casting away emotions that are no longer serving you. There's a cycle that you've been repeating, emotionally speaking. And this is the last time you're repeating it. I think there's something that you realized that put the nail in the coffin. Whatever this is, whether it has to do with the person or whether it has to do with how you relate to your career. There's something here that's been happening for way too long. Every time you get yourself out, you're like right back, and you're realizing something now where it's just like, you know what, you learned what you need to learn, chapter closed. Oh snap, yeah, a new beginning or even a new life may be blooming. So what you've been doing is actually something to rave about. But of course, people won't really hear you or really care, because the work that you've been doing internally has been a lot. And it's something to be proud of. Because what you've done right now is transmute all of that gunk and you're gonna get great things coming to you. That's something to be very happy about. All right, so for my entrepreneurs or people who have an entrepreneurial spirit, you are going to have to juggle your job and whatever it is that you're trying to get off the ground at the same time. So you are still going to have to work really hard. This is not the end of the road. It's going to be a lot of work. Make sure you rest, and also understand, with as much work as you put in now, you're going to be able to relax later, right? So if you've been thinking about, oh, I should quit my job and completely do everything, like give everything to my side hustle or my hobby or whatever it is, the Spirit is advising you that that may not be the right choice. I'm not giving you any professional advice. And of course, you make the decisions for your life. Don't ever listen to a tarot reader, family member, friend, or whatever, and just take it as gospel and make decisions over your life based off of what somebody else said. No. Make sure you filter it through your own intuition and whatever it is that you feel in your mind and your heart. But what I'm seeing here is that it wouldn't be wise to throw yourself completely into your business until it grows some legs enough for you to transition smoothly into making it full-time. That's definitely a message for somebody, because I'm pretty sure somebody was wondering, all right, should I just leave this all and dive in head first? And what I'm getting from that is that that's probably not the wisest thing to do. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot about integration. So I feel you're reading in my chest. Which tells me that I'm envisioning like a tightened heart. I don't know how to explain that, but it's like the muscles in your heart are like tight. It's almost like how, you know, when people carry their stress in certain places in their body, like the shoulders or the lower back, and those muscles become tense. I'm getting that, but like for the heart. So you definitely need to rest. You need to schedule resting periods instead of having your spirit team sit you down. Because I see here that you could work so hard that you have to be sat down. Whether that means you get the flu and it knocks you out for 3 days. I don't know if that means maybe something happens with your car and now you can't really go into work. There's something where your spirit team has to constantly sit you down, and maybe that's what this cycle, this pattern is that you've been repeating, this cycle of just constant burnout. The world needs you, Capricorn. You can't be burning out over these companies, right? Keep your job, do your job, but just do your job. You don't have to be out here, you know, doing acrobats and doing 3 people's jobs at the same time. I'm getting your health is so important. That's a given, but there's something about your health. What is that? There's something about your health. If you've been feeling something funny, just go get it checked out. Just get that peace of mind. Just go get it checked out. Don't try to, you know, hypothesize what it could be. Get it checked out. And that's not to scare anybody, but I am getting something about your health. And it's not anything that I can see in the cards, so I know for a fact that there is somebody out there that has been feeling something or thinking about something, and they've tried to rationalize it in their head as just something minor. And it could be minor, but check it out. Get it checked out. Stop living by other people's rules. I just heard that. Look, your life is yours to live. And you're living by somebody else's rules. Expectations. Take this with a grain of salt, please. Please. But I'm feeling really called to say this. Just back up a little bit. Back up a little bit from things that you would naturally assume responsibility for. Back up a little bit and see what happens. If that's with your family, if you're one who naturally just jumps in, back up a little bit and see what happens. If you're somebody who has this complex of like a rescuer or a protector and a leader, you know, all those things we innately do, just back up a little bit and see what happens. See if the world around you, see how the world around you responds. Because I'm getting here, there's somebody who is, I wouldn't call it a warrior, like somebody who worries a lot. You're not a warrior. You could be, actually. But what I'm really getting is like initiator. You're an initiator. You're somebody who anticipates people's needs. You're somebody who knows this and that for this ailment and that. Or if somebody says something, you always know what to say. Yeah, just back up a bit and see how things happen. That's a fun little experiment. Yes. Capricorn, it's super important for you to acknowledge and work through your father wound. Survival. Your father wound is the reason for your survival mode. Your father wound and your survival mode go hand in hand. So that's something to look into if you're able to have a therapist, or maybe look up some things online about father wounds. I'm not sure, but I am getting that. There's something about masculine energy, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Father wound is very prevalent, but I'm also getting the way you relate to men in general. Whether you're a man or a woman, there's something about how men have showed up for you in your life that is a part of why you're so why am I losing it? Why am I losing the word? Hyper independent. Oh gosh. So if you're somebody who goes to therapy, I would look into your father wound more if you haven't. And then I would also examine your relationship with men in general. Who were the first men in your life when you were younger, right? Brother or sister? No. Brother, uncle, friend. Heavy male influence here. And it's influenced you so much so that it's ingrained in you. You don't even realize. how much the men around you have actually impacted, or men in your life since you were small have impacted who you are today. That's the last thing I'm going to say, Capricorn. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope that resonated with you. And if it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube things to get the algorithm going. And I appreciate you guys for choosing me as your reader. All right, take care.